criminals, maybe after their third major offense, they should go to jail for life. Never be let out. You know how much your crime rate should go down if you did that? I used to calculate that if somebody who should get 10 years in prison only got 5, I used to calculate all the crimes they commit in that 5-year period before you caught them again. Career criminals are crime machines. And the other thing you have to understand, and the report talks about, is your population in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, is largely awful people, decent people, good people. The percentage of criminals seems much greater than it is.
But it's not.
Because they do so much harm.
Yeah.
So you have to focus in on them. And that's why the career criminal program is so important. The same people are committing most of the crime.
Yeah.
So when you get them, don't let them go free. That means you need more prisons. So
but if you wanted to make politicians here in Argentina, if you wanted to do that, you were considered like, here we call tough hand, like you are so tough with criminals.
Well, if they are harming my citizens, and it's my vow that I take on the Bible to protect my citizens, of course I'm going to be tough on them if I hurt my citizens. I'm going to be tough enough on them so I frighten a lot of other people from doing the same thing. I mean, if someone rapes a woman, I believe he should go to jail for the rest of his life.
Yes.
I think it might make somebody else think twice about doing it.
You defend this concept.
If somebody kills a child, in my country, I'd be in favor of the death penalty. That gets your attention. Back in the 1930s, we had a kidnapping. It was the Lindbergh kidnapping. We set the death penalty as the penalty for kidnapping. You know how few kidnappings we have in America?
No, I don't know.
Very few. Hard to remember the last one. How many kidnappings do you have here in Argentina?
A lot. Yeah. A lot.
We have almost none. Mexico has a tremendous number of kidnappings right above the border as the United States. It would actually be a much better crime in America to do kidnapping because people have more money. You get more money. We don't have kidnapping in the United States because when the Lindbergh case took place, the United States passed a law that made it a capital offense to do kidnapping. And if you do a kidnapping in the United States, the entire government comes down on you.
I'm convinced, and for sure, tomorrow you are going to read Giuliani belongs to the tough hand. The left politicians are going to say that. And what do you say to people who consider you like a tough politician, a very hard one?
I say to them, I'm tough to protect innocent people, people who can't protect themselves, and the ones who are soft on criminals are part of the problem. People who are soft on criminals are the reasons we have little old ladies getting killed, children getting killed, people getting kidnapped. There's no benefit to being soft on criminals. What you're talking about is somebody that commits a nonviolent crime, and we want to talk about rehabilitation. I'm very much in favor of it. If you want to talk about drug rehabilitation, I'm very much in favor of drug rehabilitation. I don't think you have to be tough on drug users. I think you have to be tough on drug dealers. I think on drug users, you should be looking at more treatment programs. I believe in treatment programs. I think they work about 50% of the time. That's a pretty good percentage.
Yes.
I believe in rehabilitation programs for criminals that haven't proven to me that they're career criminals. So when you say I'm tough, I can also be very, very moderate and very, very sensible where I see the opportunity at reformation.
Yes, you're talking about drugs. How much crime is drug related?
Always hard to say. 60, somewhere, depending on the country, depending on the city, depending on the area, somewhere between 60 and 75%. Would be almost always a good guess.
Yes. So you are against the legalization of drugs?
Right.
Why?
Because there'd be even more crime. If more people got involved in using drugs, the black market for drugs would become as big as the drug market that we presently have, and we have two markets. We have the legal and the black market. All you have to do is look at the problem in the United States is prescription drugs. And you can see that just making drugs illegal doesn't solve the problem. We have people in the United States becoming addicts based on legal medicines. And what do the crooks do? They steal the legal medicines and they sell them to people.
Yeah.
So the problem is addiction. The problem is not whether it's legal or illegal.
It's the addiction. Yes.
You've got to do as best you can to reduce the number of drugs available. And then you have to work on, number one, education for young people so they don't use drugs. And number two, rehabilitation for anybody who has a chance at rehabilitation. Because the problem is addiction and the demand for drugs. Whether you legalize it or you don't, the demand is going to be so great, it's going to be beyond what we would legally allow.
Yeah.
So you're just trading one problem for another.
You used to talk about clean cities or clean neighborhoods in order to fight to crime. Why? What does it mean?
Well, I think the physical appearance of a place can give you an indication of how much the people that live there respect the rights of other people.
Oh yeah.
You know, if they, let's take graffiti. If I have a house, I don't want anybody to write on my house. Somebody comes and writes on my house. All kinds of crazy stuff. That's violating my rights. That's showing no respect for the right that I have my property the way I want it. When you see it all over the city, what it means is you have a whole city in which you have a whole group of people who have no respect for the rights of other people. A city like that has a lot of crime.
Oh yeah.
I can almost tell you the crime rate of a city by looking at it. I can look at it, and if I see a clean, orderly city, even an old one, I know that's going to be a pretty peaceful city. If I see a city filled with garbage and junk and on the streets, graffiti all over the place, I know you've got problems.
Did you visit any shanty town, any poor neighborhood here in Argentina?
Yes, we've looked at those.
And which was your impression?
My impression is that first of all, that's a shame. In a city that's this rich, just like New York, it's a shame when we have neighborhoods like that because we have great wealth. I think a lot of concentration has to be put on bringing those places back. I did. You know, we had terrible problems in Bedford-Stuyvesant and in Harlem and in the lower part of the Bronx and in Washington Heights. I made special emphasis to try to first, the only way you're going to solve those problems, you first have to get the crime out. Because people won't go in and do the social work unless you get the crime out. People often say to me, what should you do in an area like that? Law enforcement or social work? You got to do both. You got to do the law enforcement. So the social work will work. People aren't going to go teach in a place where they can get killed. Doctors aren't going to go to hospitals in places where they can get killed. So if you want to fix a neighborhood, we call them neighborhoods.
Yeah.
If you want to fix a neighborhood, you got to first make it relatively safe. Then you should follow that with good schools, good health care, and a decent quality of life for people. It's possible to do. Your Buenos Aires is big enough, strong enough, rich enough. So is Argentina to do it. And Tigre is a wonderful example that you can use. And now San Fernando, wonderful example that you can use that if people put their mind to it, they can reduce crime.
If you live in Argentina, you live in Tigre.
I would live in Tigre. It's as safe as New York City.
People said that you changed New York City. You did the miracle. Which was the secret?
The secret was having a plan, a crime reduction plan, and then a plan for everything else, and sticking to it, and not letting anybody stop me.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.